Hola amigos, and welcome back to the deep dive. You know how it is. You're diving headfirst into the complex beauty of the Spanish language.
It really is something else.
It is, and you're feeling pretty confident, right? You've got your verbs down.
Right.
You're mastering those tricky tenses, but then articles, these tiny words, una, unas, unas, they can be like little puzzles.
They really can. Tricky little things.
And we're going to unlock those mysteries today, so buckle up because we're doing a deep dive into when to use them and maybe more importantly,
Yes.
when to just let them go.
Exactly. And you know what? This is something that trips up even seasoned Spanish speakers sometimes.
Oh, absolutely.
So if you've ever felt a little unsure about these articles, you are in good company.
You are not alone. So just to be super clear, we're talking about the Spanish equivalents of a or en in English.
Exactly. Your indefinite articles.
Indefinite articles. Okay. Now, these articles, they often appear before nouns, like un libro, a book, or una casa, a house. But then sometimes they seem to disappear, especially after certain verbs like ser and hacerse. So like if you say, soy estudiante, I am a student, you don't say, soy un estudiante.
Exactly. And that's one of those key rules we're talking about today.
It's so interesting how these little things work, right?
It is. It's all about how Spanish expresses things a little differently than English. So after ser, or hacerse, when you're talking about what someone is, their profession, their religion, their nationality, usually drop the article.
Because it's about their identity.
Yes. It's like saying, this is who I am, not this is one of many things I could be.
I like that. So instead of ella es una católica, she is a Catholic, you'd simply say ella es católica.
Exactly, you got it. And it's the same with professions, like in the text, es abogada. She's the lawyer. You're stating what she does, not picking out one lawyer from many.
Right, not she's a lawyer amongst many other lawyers.
Precisely. It's that subtle difference that makes all the difference.
It really does. Now, there are times when you do use un or una with professions and such, and the text gave a good example, right?
It did. And it's a really important distinction. Think about it like this. If you say, ella es una abogada increíble, she's an incredible lawyer, you're not just stating her profession.
You're emphasizing something specific about her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're highlighting that she's not just any lawyer, she's an exceptional one.
Right, and that's where the un or una comes in to add that extra layer of, hey, pay attention, this is specific.
I like how you put that. It's about that specificity.
Okay, so we've covered ser and hacerse. Now, the text also mentioned direct objects. This is where it gets a little more...
A little more nuance.
Yes, exactly. So sometimes you don't use un or una before a direct object if you're talking about something in a general sense. Like the example from the text, Lola colecciona sellos. Lola collects stamps.
Right. Lola is a stamp enthusiast. We're not talking about one specific stamp.
Exactly. She loves all stamps.
All kinds. So no need for una sellos in this case.
Okay, that makes sense. But then the text also gave an example where you do use un before a direct object. La novia de José Alfonso ha publicado una novela. José Alfonso's girlfriend has published a novel. So why is that? What's the difference?
Great question. In that case, it's highlighting that she's published one specific novel, not novels in general.
Ah, so it's that specificity again?
Exactly. It's like saying she's published this one particular novel and maybe they're about to tell us more about it.
Right, like it's important to the story.
Yes. And that's how those articles work. They might seem small, but they can change the whole meaning of a sentence.
They add those nuances, those layers of meaning.
Exactly.
This has been so helpful. Thank you so much for breaking it all down.
My pleasure. It's always fun to dive into these grammar mysteries.
It is. And for our listeners, here's something to ponder. Imagine you're at a party and someone says, "Busco un amigo que habla español." I'm looking for a friend who speaks Spanish. Now, thinking about what we've learned about una and una, how would you respond? Would you use un amigo or just amigo? Something to think about. Until next time on The Deep Dive, adios.